So we're still in the city of Rabat, the capital, administrative capital of Morocco. The economic capital obviously is Casablanca, which also is the biggest city in this country of over 38 million people. It's a beautiful country by all standards. Rabat is one of the smallest in terms of size. You know, Casablanca has more than 4 million people, with Rabat trailing with about 2 million people according to government statistics. And so this is the old city of Rabat, and folks, you can see how clean the city is. And this is even the old city, you know, but it's not a new part of Rabat. That tells you that which building is this one?
Parliament.
Okay, so this is your parliament building. Oh, the old parliament. Okay.
No, also
it's still in use?
Yes, it's
okay, all right. So all of this area you see is part of the old city of Rabat. And you know, it's very impressive. When Trump ignorantly says Africa is shithole, you should know that Africa is really, really beautiful. You know, and there are several cities and countries in Africa that have gotten their acts together and are doing very, very well. You know, so we thought we would show you the old part of the city of Rabat, and obviously also show you the new city, you know, the most beautiful part of the city of Rabat. The weather is very good today. It's about 15 degrees Celsius, and you know, people are out and about. Not as cold as, you know, the last couple of days since we have been here. And I am really impressed, and I'm also hoping that countries within Africa would look at the best practices and copy countries that are doing well, you know, cities that are doing well. You know, if you look at the buildings, you know, the buildings are not necessarily skyscrapers and spectacular buildings, but it's just the greenery, you know, and the cleanliness of the city and the planning. You know, it's not done haphazardly. You don't have hawkers, you know, you don't have trash all over the place. Now, if this is the old part of the city of Rabat, you can imagine how the new parts of the city looks like, you know. And so it is possible for Africa to get it right, but it would take, you know, some dedication. It would take some, you know, competent people running the various municipalities, the various districts, to be able to get things right. So there's a lot more that we intend to show you from this beautiful capital city of Morocco. Which building is this one?
Church.
Okay, so this is a church.
Yes.
Now,
Catholic, I think.
Okay, Catholic church. Now, so this is also very instructive. It tells you how tolerant Moroccan society is. You know, there's a Muslim majority country, but you still have places of worship for other faiths, and there are several. And there are several, you know, countries in Africa, in you know, in the Maghreb that are like that. You know, where it's not just Islam but other faiths as well. And this certainly here should dispel the notion that, you know, Muslims are not tolerant of other people's religions. You know, and so I thought I should let you see that one as well. So all of this area, my friends, it's the old city of Rabat. It looks like parking is a problem here.
Sometimes, but have some parking.
Okay, underground parking. Yeah, yeah. So all of these people are paying for parking?
No, not very necessary, but official parking you have paid.
Okay, so if
but
you park,
like this,
so these are, you know, street parking, free parking. But if you park underground in the city parks, obviously you would have to pay for it. And this is a stark contrast with, you know, countries. Yeah, and you see they have trams as well. They've got quite a lot of trams amongst them here, you know. I was talking about the stark contrast with countries that have allowed litter and filth in their neighborhoods. I mean, if we make the appointment of people who run our cities and municipalities the exclusive preserve of those who can attend the most funerals and naming ceremonies and outdooring, then obviously we're going to have, challenges. I strongly believe that, every district of Ghana has very competent Ghanaians, who, when given the ability, when given the opportunity, can actually run those cities and districts and municipalities and turn things around and turn them into green spaces, etc. And that's the kind of things we need. I'm told this mosque is one of the oldest here, probably about 1,000-year-old.
It doesn't like broken.
Mosque. There's not much time to go to all the tourist places. We're just driving through the city just to give you, a feel of the old city, and then I'll bring you, sights from the new city as well. And it's not an entirely new city, but it's like, old.
The oldest building is
Yeah.
France style.
Okay, so I've been told that these are all. I mean, the French used to be in this part of the city. When they occupied, Morocco as colonizers. This part of the city is where they were at predominantly, and you could see that these are French style indeed. I've seen buildings like this in Paris, and the architecture and the building look pretty much like those you would see typically in Paris. And so I'd like to I'd like to end it here for the old city, and then we'll make time and go to the new city as well, so you have a view of the difference between the old city. In spite of the fact that it is the old neighborhood or the old area, it's still very clean. It's the streets are spotless, and these are some of the things that I look out for when I go to cities and towns and countries. How clean is the city? How green is the city? And you clearly can tell that there's zero tolerance for filth. My friends, this is the Trans-Africa Tourism and Unity campaign, where we're traveling across Africa, promoting a visa-free policy for all African nationals, but also showcasing the African countries that are doing well, that are shining examples of, the positive stories of Africa. And clearly, if you want a country that is doing well, Morocco is one of such countries. And indeed, over the last few years, Morocco has also opened up, for a lot of African countries who wish to visit Morocco. Is now absolutely visa-free for many African countries. And I do hope that, it would be extended to every other African country, so that as Africans, we can trade amongst ourselves, we can tour, we can exchange ideas, we can explore each other's culture and the beauty and everything else. The sun is not our friend at the moment, as we're facing, the sun directly. And so I'd like to thank you for watching. So this one here is for tourists. So if you want to have a feel of the city, then you can sit in one of these and they'll take you.
I'm sure this is
there are two passengers in there. I can see, and there's a tour guide showing the tourists part of the city. So yes, we're promoting a visa-free Africa, a borderless Africa, but we're also showcasing the beauty of this great continent of Africa. Africa has a lot, and I say it repeatedly that if we get our act together, nobody, no sane African would want to go and live in Europe or America. If we fight against corruption, if we get our act together, if the leaders are spending the resources in building our respective African countries and creating jobs. Who want to go and live in this cold in Europe or North America? So when you keep hearing Europeans and Americans, say we don't want migrants, who really wants to come? Because a lot of the time, my friends, the migrant crisis are created by these Europeans and Americans. They go and, spark conflicts in places, and people have no option than to, move around. But I also hope that Africans would begin to think that, look, it is up to us to fix Africa. No European or American would come and fix Africa for us. And we've got to keep the resources in Africa. We've got to trade amongst ourselves. The European Union and people like Trump would not want me to say this, because, this would be opening the eyes of Africans who should be tired of the plunder, of the thievery. So this is a train station, and it's under construction now, I've been told. And it's one of the oldest, obviously, in the neighborhood. Okay, so the oldest train station in Morocco, which is currently under refurbishment. So as I was saying, I feel so sad that
the style is French.
That
French
absolutely, the architecture, as you see in the old city of Morocco, has French influences. And as I've said in other broadcasts,
And also sometimes like this is Spain style.
Okay, Spanish style as well.
Yes.
Absolutely. And as I've said in other broadcasts, Morocco is a mixture of Berber culture, Arab culture, French culture, and you see that a lot in the architecture. So let me end on this particular note, that Africa has got what it takes to be a leader if we stop allowing corrupt politicians to take us for granted. If we spend the resources, building Africa, nobody who is normal or sane would really want to leave a country that is thriving and go and live in another person's country. Nobody would want to do that. So it behoves on all of us as Africans to make sure that, the continent is right. And then, yes, so that's the train station, which is the oldest in Rabat, which has been, under construction. If this is the old part of the city of Rabat, you can imagine what a new part of the city of Rabat looks like, And so, my friends, we are passionate about this issue of Africans uniting, keeping our resources here, and not allowing, ignorant folks like, Trump dictating terms and, literally treating us like slaves. Our people have been through slavery, we've been through colonization and neo-colonization. It's enough. If we are not waking up now, then we would never, ever wake up, to the possibility of Africa. And I must also tell you that once upon a time, the Romans also, passed through Morocco, and clearly you see relics of, years gone by, of buildings from centuries, gone by. And so we'll leave it here for now, thanking you for joining us and wishing that Africa would really and truly wake up.